What's going on? So this video is kind of going to be like an update, which I guess I've been given a couple of those, but yeah, I'm going to discuss like some other things. So one of the topics of this video is going to be like, I feel like shit. Like, I mean, trust me, I felt like shit a lot of days. It's really weird, like, and this kind of goes on with depersonalization, derealization, you know, adrenal exhaustion. That's pretty much what it is. It's just as simple as that. And bad dining. It's fun. Well, and I'll just give you how I got it. Malnourishment, basically. 1, 2, like, just working out, working out really hard and stressing the body, and maybe some other little things, like I had someone stay at my house during this time because he was house hopping basically, and I let him stay, and it was stressful because he would just like follow me around all the time, and he was just always up my ass basically. And then like when he would stay in my room, because he stayed in the same room as me, he would he'd be sleeping till like 5 p.m. and I'd be up like super early working out, doing stuff, and I couldn't make noise in my room. Not necessarily that I could even make noise in my house, but yeah, and that was kind of like stressful to me working out. And I was smoking like a little bit of pot at the time, but nothing substantial, and I felt good from it. It really didn't have negative effects. I know people sometimes run into depersonalization, derealization from smoking weed, but you gotta understand it's really a malnourishment, and it's not necessarily the weed. I mean, it could trigger it, but it's more so your adrenals, and your adrenals are exhausted. That's what you need to know. You've been eating some shit food, and you're probably stressing yourself out, right? And there's multiple ways that comes from. So I just gave you a little list of what was going on. So yeah, and there's some days, like yesterday, I didn't make a video, and it's been a while since I didn't make a video. I've been trying to make a video every day, or at least a couple, and yesterday I didn't come through. I just felt like shit all day, and I thought I'd say it, I guess. Always laugh at everything and smile about stuff, because I know life's not that serious, but when you're freaking sick and you feel like shit every day, mostly every day, it's real depressing. But when you have no energy, it just kind of fucking sucks, and that's just how it is. And no one likes to tell people, oh, I'm depressed, or I have anxiety or something along. No one likes to go, I have emotional problems, especially if you're at work, or if it's someone you don't trust or like, or if you have no one to talk to. So I guess YouTube's good for that, so people can relate. But yesterday, it's just like one day I feel really good. I don't feel back to normal yet, but I am feeling better to some extent. I just had to take it real slow with whatever I'm gonna eat or whatever I'm gonna drink. I have to take it so slow, like it's ridiculous. It's like feeding a baby almost, which pretty what my naturopath said, and what a lot of other people say that I read up on it. When you have adrenal fatigue, which you gotta understand, a lot of people have it. It's a lot of people have weak adrenals, and it's to different degrees, that they have it. But if you have depersonalization or derealization, those are just bigger terms for adrenals are fucked up. Sorry for the swearing, effed up. And you need to take it to caution, because there were signs, that I did a couple things that messed with me. I was on a vegan diet, but I didn't know nothing about nutrition when I got into it, and I started eating real shitty, like real real shitty, and I didn't even know because no one teaches you about it. And had an ideology in my head about animals, and just like really going against myself basically in a bunch of ways, really in my head sometimes too, which they say people that have this depersonalization, derealization, they're in their head a lot, they're perfectionists. An example of that would be like when I would write lyrics, if I was writing something, I would have to finish the verse. I would have to, and sometimes like I would really stress myself out and really be in my head all the time. Like I couldn't get out of it, because once I started it, it's like I wanted to get done. Or if I couldn't think of like a next line, I would just like really be on myself and like just sit there. And I've done this plenty of times, sometimes for long times, even hours. I mean, I've spent so much time. So yeah, and I just wanted to say, like, I started this video, I felt like shit basically yesterday. I mean, today I guess I feel better, but the day before I felt like shit, I actually felt good. And it's just like been this cycle of one day feeling like shit, one day feeling all right, feeling better, and then a whole nother day is just I'm down, like I was yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It sucks that this happened. Definitely did. I mean, I was in for it, but I also was kind of fooled and tricked, and also I didn't know a lot of things. I mean, I'm still alive. Yeah, sometimes I wanted to die, definitely, and it felt like shit. Like when I feel like shit, that's the worst. Because it's just like when you have something like this, you basically you are dying, but you even more so, you're even more alert, and you want to like your soul wants to escape the body basically. So like that's what it feels like. You feel trapped inside a prison, and everything around you just feel like you're in jail, like but inside the body. You have to experience it. And yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. So I'm trying to get out. And yesterday I just felt like complete shit. I even went to sleep super early. I went to sleep at like 10, and I freaking woke up like at 3, or no, it was 4 in the morning, and then I woke up at like 7. And I just went back to sleep both times. I think I ate something like real early in the morning, but it was just a bunch of bogus. Because I actually went to sleep, I actually fell asleep sound, and then tried staying asleep, but well, I would just thought I was gonna get up regular time and feel good, but that wasn't the case at all. I felt like shit. Yeah, and there's gonna be some days, you know, especially if you're recovering for something like this, or a chronic disease, or just any disease, or sickness, you're gonna feel like shit some days. Like I said, you're gonna have lack of energy. If you notice any lack of energy, there's subtle things that are going on, you know, and that's the thing that sucks, is no one tells you about them, especially if you're unaware and you're trying new things. Because there were like subtle things I just did not. I kind of like pushed them to the side, because it was I was like a disciplined guy, and you always hear like everyone's just full of shit. That's another thing, like everyone's full of shit. I wouldn't believe anyone, like anybody, unless you're working with like a holistic doctor and you're trying to heal or something, and you can tell if someone's like telling the truth, and you know, you can relate to them and work with them. Because like a lot of people are full of shit. There's going to be different circumstances for what's going on in your life in different situations. So like the cues that I had basically were like, I was getting kind of tired. I was always hungry, like always hungry, even though I ate 3 meals, and their protein-packed meals. Always hungry, and I just kind of like ignore that. Basically, I would ignore my hunger. It's like I basically was fasting, even though I was eating like beans, protein for protein, and I basically was fasting. Like example, my day would be like I'd go I'd work out like as soon as I woke up in the morning, and I actually felt good. But for the night before, I would be starving, laying on the floor, like starving, like literally. I would go to I was laying there, and I just, it's like I'd be like, it's too late at night. I don't want to eat anything because it's too late. And then if I eat something, I'm gonna go right to sleep, and I don't want to go to sleep right after I eat something. So there was that, and then I would be laying there, I'd be like, I can't go to sleep because I'm so hungry, but then I'd have no energy. I'd have no energy to go up and go get something. And at the time I was making food, so it just was like nothing was satiating me, and I didn't want to go up and make food because that was going to be a whole thing in itself, and then eating, it was going to be 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'd probably go to sleep, and it was already so late at night. And I like to waking up early, so all this stuff was going. That was just that for that night, you know. And I was like, oh my God, I ate all day, and I was ignoring my symptoms basically. And the next day, like I said, I would go to work out, but when I would go to work out, I'd be numb because I finally went to sleep. I'd probably sometimes wake up on my stomach. That's when I know I'm really hungry, because I'll lay on my stomach to like cover up the hunger. And I would, you know, because after you sleep, you kind of get numb. You won't feel hunger when you freaking wake up. So I'd be like numb, and I'd go work out, like a hard workout, just an intense workout. And because I was doing calisthenics and I wasn't lifting weights, but it was still intense. And yeah, I would work out, and then I'd be like, okay, now it's time to eat. But by the time I would do that, you know, I'd be like, I'm starving, which I actually feel hunger, which is crazy, because it's been a while, and that's how I know I'm feeling better. Also breathing a little bit better. But people say, like, I hear people talking about fasting, and they're like, oh, you don't know true hunger if you've never felt thirst in the back of your throat, or somewhere in your mouth, basically, which can be true to an extent, because I don't never starve myself for fucking weeks on end, but I actually have, to be traditional with you, because I felt that thirst in the back of my throat when I was vegan, and the food, or at least the cooked foods I was eating, and the foods at the time, I felt that thirst in the back of my throat. And people say you get that from fasting, which is not eating anything, but I felt that in the back of my throat. Yeah, and then I wanted to go through my day again, and I just wanted to go over that side note. I'd wake up, you know, do the workout, and then maybe go make something, but I'm making something now. And then I sometimes would clean the dishes, and this is like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I would finally eat. So it's like an hour. It just took way too long, and then I was doing this throughout the day. And then when I'd be making music, or I would ignore my signals. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna fight this. Like, or literally, like, my disciplined mind, it's like, no, I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna keep making music. And I would just completely ignore. And a lot of my lyrics was about me starving and being hungry. Like, literally, even my friend that was staying with me, he knew, and the people I was recording with, they knew, like, I was talking about being hungry and starving, because I had this mentality, like, you know, being hungry, starving makes you more like manly and more kind of more ambitionist. And I kept doing that. Like, literally, I kept, all the time I was hungry, and I kept ignoring the signals when I was making music. I was like, I'll do it in 15. Even when I was smoking, because, you know, when you smoke, you get an appetite. And I'd never smoked like super crazy. Like, I mean, everyone has the threshold and whatever. And when I would smoke, it was just a little bit, you know, like, I kind of, like, even in my days I smoked a lot, that's a little bit compared to the heavy smoker. And I mean, to each his own, but I don't know, it's not that I don't believe in, I think people really overuse smoking weed, like, way too much. Certain people, and people, like, you don't know how they live their life, but people like Wiz Khalifa or Snoop Dogg, I feel like they just do it way too much. Like, but I mean, again, it's whatever. And yeah, and some of my vital symptoms that I wasn't listening to were, I'd get like obviously the hunger cues all the time and never being satiated. That was one of the ones. Getting kind of tired. And I didn't have any clue about this. I really wasn't into nutrition and vital signs in your body. Now I know. It's like the biggest wake-up call. 3 would be, I was getting like stress in my neck. Like, and they say like that's a sign. 2, like I was getting like stress in my neck, like kind of like reverberations in my neck. Other things, I was getting vertigo. Yeah, and yeah, I mean those are some of them. I don't and it was just like one day, and then I had like way back there, you can't see, I got my first cavities, and then I had like another thing was when I would eat like sugar, like fresh fruit, which I didn't do that often at all, but when I'd eat it, like my body become real irritated, like just over a couple berries, and I did know something was up, but it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna avoid the fruit. Because I noticed, like, I can specifically remember this one time I ate like just a couple berries, and I just felt like I couldn't control myself, and I was very agitated. And like just a couple berries, and I would always avoid fruit from there on. Even though I didn't eat that much fruit, I would always avoid it. So those are just some signs, you know. And that's the thing, like I make these videos so maybe you may not share the same thing as me, but there's signs and cues. Like they're such little, but they're so big, because one day I just woke up and I feel I also someone to say the dentist put amalgam fillings, which probably damaged my health even more. It affects everyone differently, and just having that done, and I never had fillings before, really any teeth problems, but of course I do now. But they're out. So anyways, I freaking woke up one day and just felt completely disconnected from my body, like, and I thought, oh, you know, this is a euphoria or high and it's gonna go away. I've never really felt like that in my entire life, but it stayed with me up until this day, which is like 2 years later, pretty much approximately now, if not a little more. I'd say just about 2 years. And yeah, it never went away, but I feel it getting better. I just feel the healing, and it's weird. Like I've went through so many different symptoms after. Yeah, so that's basically that. I'll touch up on another thing, which just throwing it in the video, constipation. I freaking was trying to eat this. Basically cheese. If you eat certain cheese, I thought I had heavy metals basically, and a good way to get them out is if you eat raw cheese. Basically my naturopath, I was just there like, I don't know, days ago, and she said I don't have any heavy metals, so I don't gotta worry about getting them out, because I was just like up in my head, which excessive thinking is another one, but that's gonna happen kind of because your life wants to grip on the things in the material world. So if you have this anxiety or adrenal exhaustion, which it is, you're gonna just want to grip on everything. Like literally your brain's gonna want to think all the time, and that's another thing. Well, that's just like a healing symptom basically. I'm not thinking as much, and I can smell. All your senses would die down, yada yada yada. It's pretty much the same. And a lot of people on YouTube, if you watch this video for this long, are so full of shit. None of them have experienced it. And it's hard to talk about something you never experienced, and they're all just full of shit. Like take anything away from this video, I mean, this video is gold, but anything from this video, everyone online's like really full of shit. 99% of people online are full of shit, like just completely full of shit. They're doing it for views, just for attention, for money. They're just full of shit, and you don't know what the real life. You could tell when someone's speaking truth and being real. That goes to say. And yeah, so oh yeah, I was talking about constipation. I'm freaking probably never gonna eat cheese the rest of my fucking life unless it's some like super soft cheese, because it's just like the hard cheese is so constipating and always was. And another thing about memories, I forgot how everything like affected me and which foods are kind of good, you know, like how foods ran with me, and I just like completely forgot everything. All my memory was erased, and how I feel about people, I can't even feel anything emotionally, really. I mean, no, you can feel stuff emotionally, but it's not the same, and you just can't feel stuff physically because your body, your adrenal run your body. That's what you need to understand. And they run your digestion, so your digestion will go to poop too. But yeah, I'm never freaking eating cheese probably again in my entire life. I don't really care. I just want to eat food that's freaking good. I don't really care. I don't care for taste. If something tastes like shit but it's gonna make me feel like I'm God, I'm gonna fucking eat it. I don't care. And the constipation thing, yeah, I freaking had constipation the last couple of days because I ate freaking a whole block, probably a half a pound of cheese, and probably like 2-3 days. But that was like, you know, it's just so binding and fucking draws everything to it. And you're supposed to eat basically a lot of fat with it, or just a lot of things, and just fat though, because that lubricates the body. And I fucking did that, and it doesn't matter because it's still freaking constipating. That fucking sucks too, and that will make you feel like shit too if you're fucking constipated. So be aware of cheese, definitely cheese. Yeah, aside from the constipation freaking thing, I guess I was going to talk about just real quick about stuff, I guess like me eating meat and stuff. It's just like really hard to digest, because meat and fat are going to be the hardest thing to digest. And I don't know, I'm not going to give you professional advice. You have to do what works for you and how you feel about it. Like when I eat meat and stuff, I just feel like it's real hard to digest right now, so I'm going to stick to like fresh fruit and vegetables where I'm at right now. Yeah, just meat and stuff is just like so over. And the thing is, when I do even eat meat, I can't. You're supposed to eat small meals with adrenal fatigue and alkalizing, and that's gonna be a whole nother video. Like people say it's a myth, but it depends on your health and your situation. They're kind of full of shit, you know. Everyone just likes, you know, to jump aboard and say completely opposite or say something, but that's a bunch of nonsense, because alkalization is real. I mean, it's far into the video and you might not even watch this, but there is a difference between processed foods and meat, definitely, and just different types of chemical additives and stuff like that. There is different acid profiles, but there also is some truth to alkalization. It depends what your body needs and how you feel. But yeah, with the meat thing, meat's always going to be the hardest to digest, even if it is raw, because I was eating it raw. It doesn't matter, it's fucking hard to digest. And I know, I can feel it. And especially cream, which is fat. Fat's gonna be the hardest thing. Fat is the hardest thing to digest. It literally is. Fat's the hardest thing to digest, so you might want to look into that. Another symptom, which was the worst one for me, the biggest one, was every time I would drink water, my body would freaking shake, like I was getting fucking electrocuted, and that fucking sucked. I didn't mean I was swearing. Yeah, that sucked. Absolutely freaking sucked. Every time I drank something, that was the worst. And it still is, but I can drink a little bit more now. My body would shake because it was such a flight mode. I couldn't drink anything at all. That's how bad it was, and it freaking sucked. Wanted to die every day. And that's how bad it was. So when you listen to these other people on YouTube, but probably some people won't listen to the videos far, just know these other people are full of shit. And just know, I mean, it's another video, but everyone is full of shit. Don't believe it. I mean, anybody, you know, like everyone's really out there to get your money in a business, man. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, they're really, and you lose your focus, concentration, memory, but just know everyone out there is really full of shit. Like, really, and they don't even know. Just because it worked for them doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean? If you have impaired digestion, you know, eating the hardest to digest foods might not be beneficial. But again, it's all dependent on where you're at in the situation, in the type of food too, because we have friggin' access to so many. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video, because covered a decent amount and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't wait till I feel better. But yesterday I felt like I was gonna freaking die, and I wanted to die, like literally, like literally. And it never even really felt like that before until this started happening, which was like 2 years ago. And I have felt depressed before, like maybe once or twice, but maybe a few far in between. But there were situations that happened, and it kind of wasn't just random. Well, nothing really is. But I never wanted to die, actually, until this happened. But I was gonna say one more thing, which was what was I gonna say? Something about something. Fuck, don't remember that. Yeah, don't remember. If you do feel like you need some help, reach out to somebody. You know, you might have to pay a holistic doctor to help you, or reach out to someone that's actually been through it and knows what they're freaking talking about. Yeah. And just keep going and keep faith. You know, distraction's a good method. I know it fucking sucks because you keep saying that, but you actually feel it, and it doesn't even go away. Especially how bad it is. You feel it every second, and you'll be unmotivated too. Yeah, yada yada yada. There's so many things. Yeah, that's basically it. Shit. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. Yesterday, other than being thirsty, I get like super thirsty at night. I won't even be thirsty the whole fucking day. I keep saying fucking. I won't be thirsty the whole day. Of course, I'm drinking something now, but night will come around. You know, my God, I'll be so thirsty. Yesterday I was so freaking thirsty, and it's time to, I took a little bit of water and I was like, okay, which I can actually drink a little bit now. And then I drank some of the milk. I had some milk, and because I wasn't sure about the water, and then I took some water, and then I ate some eggs, some raw eggs, and yeah, that just kind of made me thirstier. So the point, that really wasn't the point. The point is, I don't know if it was the eggs, but I woke up in the morning and I had like a hard one. I was hard. I don't know if it was from the eggs or because the dream and the simulation, but yeah, I had a hard one. I was happy about that. I don't remember exactly what the dream was or what was going on, but that was interesting. I don't know if it was the eggs or if it was just a dream. I know people say eggs can do that, and I've heard plenty of stories that it happened like that, but it's hard to say which one exactly it was. Yeah, that's it. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you watch the whole video. If you have any video requests or want to discuss anything, let me know. Give me a like. Check out some other videos. Have a blessed day.